everyone. So this is Unit 6 video response. So we're supposed to debate whether physical educated students should be critical consumers of sports. So I definitely believe that physical education students should be consumers of sport just because this is something that they are participating in. So if you're participating in something, you should have as much information as possible in order to help you complete whatever the activity is, whatever the task is, and then to also understand why you're doing it. But I think that this question is a little complex because not everyone cares for physical activity or for sports. So, for example, going and being involved in urban high schools, I've taken upon myself just to look into the physical education programs, since that's kind of where I want to be, right? And going into these urban and sometimes lower economical situations, the students are forced, of course, to complete the PE requirement. So you'll have a lot of students that per se don't really care about physical education, as we once did, a long time ago. Now it's just a requirement, and a lot of them are not participating. A lot of them are not dressing for PE, and a lot of them really are just worried about, what's going on Instagram, what's going on Twitter, and other social media outlets. Now, talking to these students, a lot of them do understand what sports are and what's going on in the world. Everything that's being shown mass media, like basketball, football games, things like that. But when we talk about games like soccer and hockey, even golf, a lot of them in the urban, of course, I'm talking about the urban community, a lot of them have no type of association with these sports. And another issue is the region. So if I'm in Los Angeles and there are a few parks, right? There are a few parks because we know that Los Angeles is filled with buildings and industrial businesses and things like that. So if there are only a few amount of parks, and maybe these same parks don't have a tennis court, for example, or the grass is always dead or dirt field, and soccer doesn't even occur at these parks. So when we try to teach these kids these games and physical education, there is no type of association because that's not what they live and see on a daily basis. So I think it also has to do with the culture and where you are in the region. And so just going over, culturally, I know that a lot of my peers, classmates talked about different countries and how we have some students coming from different countries, or maybe their parents are from different countries, and they bring in over their own cultural backgrounds and what they do, in their countries. And so, again, the sports is not as big a deal in their country as it is here in this country. And so I thought that was very interesting, and I looked up, an article that actually talked about this issue in The Atlantic. So basically the case against high school sports, and the reason why it's against high school sports is because coming from different countries, sports is not really a big phenomenon. The most important thing is academics. And so when you have students that have parents or grandparents that have these type of ideologies, when it comes to physical education, really their concern is not physical activity. This is just a requirement that I have to get over and pass, and then I'm on to academics, and they never even participate in sports or physical activity ever again. So I think it's really important that as educators, we promote the true reason for physical activity, not even just sports, but it's really just to keep our bodies healthy, to keep us, moving and mobile, as as long as we can. And I think that it should be, again, a very important element that physical education students take into an account. But however, we know this is reality, and that's not always the case. As a physical educator, I think it's our job to find ways to spread the knowledge. So I look forward to everyone else's posts.